welcome to Miami. I hope you guys got a chance to check out the Ophelia exhibit last night or this morning. If not, go after this and check it out because it's pretty awesome. I am Andrew Bevan. I'm the style features editor at Teen Vogue magazine, and I am your panel moderator today. Let's start with our first guest. Please welcome the ever trailblazing and chic president and founder of SCAD, of Savannah College of Art and Design, Paula Wallace. He is a man of many hats and many jumpsuits, and one of the nicest guys I have ever met, and I've met a lot of people. Let's give a big hey-ya to Andre 3000 Benjamin. Next, we have Jimmy O'Neill. He's exhibited paintings, videos, installations, and performance art in galleries and museums around the world. His 2007 large-scale mirrored work, The Nine Muses, is permanently installed at Atlanta's Cobb Energy of Performing Arts. O'Neill earned his bachelor's degree in illustration from SCAD in 1989. Please welcome Jimmy O'Neill. And last, but certainly not least, Greg Brunkalla's recent work includes the film Trumpets as part of the Ophelia exhibit on display here at Mana. He's directed interactive installations and advertisements, music videos, and a series of intimate celebrity interviews for the New York Times and W titled Screen Tests. Brunkalla earned his bachelor's degree in film and television from SCAD in 2001. Thank you guys for coming. So, I want to start by, we're basically living in an age of like the Yelp review, and where everybody with a laptop is a critic about everything. And I think when it comes to art, who do you guys think is the most valuable authority? Like who's the ultimate authority for its value? The artist, the pop culture, critics, peers? Greg, you don't even really consider yourself an artist, apparently. You only go by a filmmaker. Do you want to talk a little bit?
Actually, that's interesting, the artist-filmmaker thing, because when you, as a filmmaker, and a director, I have to join eventually you get forced into joining a union. Like, there's no artist union, per se, other than the Directors Guild that I have to join to make movies or commercials. And when we were making this, it was like a big deal to figure out, am I an artist? Am I a director? And it's just weird, these labels that we have to put on everything. And I think that this is like a perfect example and an experience for me where it's working with Andre and Jimmy in this space. It's isn't everything, the labels get really mixed, twisted, and I think that's the whole point of why we all found each other. I feel like is because we're just, I don't want to ever put words in Andre's mouth. He's good with words, but people think maybe he's just a musician, and people think maybe someone's just a director. And we just hearing Jimmy's bio, I just didn't know he did all that other stuff. So, So we're all, I think, trying to just keep questioning the system and stuff.
The authority is really the viewer, the individual viewer. It's sort of like a collective that happens in the moment of seeing the artwork. I mean, how it gets spread and how whatever happens, that's one thing. But I think, being there interpersonally, if the artwork, which I think, happy to say it was amazing last night to see that when artwork really works, it affects everybody interpersonally. Those messages on Andre's suits, they're for everybody. Anybody can relate to it in a certain way. And the same way with the way Greg set up the video projection and the words, it kept revolving, and the words worked with any of those beautiful people that were appearing. And with my work, I wanted to, just it being a mirror, I wanted to affect people, interpersonally, just with the whole situation. So I think it's it's the viewer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the value is kind of however you take it. Like, some people may look at, you know, me and my son, we have a funny thing, which is one of the sayings on the suit. It says art or fart. And sometimes even my kid, you know, we may go somewhere, we may see something on the wall that's supposed to be presented as art. And I'll look at Seven and he'll look at me and say, art or fart? And we have to make a decision, like, what is it? Is it somebody actually being an artist, or is it somebody messing with you? Especially when in a time where you got people like Banksy kind of creating fake artists and people like flocking to it. So it's really saying that anybody can do it. You know, we're in a time where like you don't have to be a great musician to make great music. I don't know any note that I'm playing ever. I don't know what key I'm singing in, but it just happens. I've been drawing and painting for a long time, but I wouldn't say that I'm an artist. So it's kind of like however it affects you. And I think that's where the value is. So I can't say that, you know, this is worth $5,000. What is it worth to me? That's what it is. So it's who's ever taking it in. That's where the value is placed.
Andre, do you think that technology kind of is starting to level the playing field a bit?
Oh yeah, and I love it. Just what we were talking about before is kind of like when we started first doing music, you had to be signed to a record label and you had to be on the radio to have any merit. Now it's kind of like you can be a kid with a laptop sitting at home and create this cool single and just put it out on SoundCloud, and you can be better than me or any other established artist. So it's kind of like leveling the playing field where as an established artist, we actually have to step our game up and be even tougher or harder, because now it's not like you can sit in this corner and be, you know, the emperor wears no clothes kind of artist. You know what I mean? It makes it greater. So everybody has to compete, or it has to really be good. That's what we really want. At the end of the day, we just want good stuff. So the leveling of the playing field, even with artists, filmmakers, like before you had to have, where you say like certain cameras, you had to have a certain crew or if it's not on 35 millimeter film, it wasn't considered like real filmmaking. Yeah, but now you have kids making movies on iPhones, killing it. So it's like, it doesn't matter. It's just really whatever you're making at the time, you know?
Yeah. Not long ago, it seemed that people kind of stayed in their creative fields. Like artists would talk to artists, and writers would talk to writers, and musicians would talk to musicians. And I feel like with technology and social media and whatnot, it just feels like we're in a place where people are collaborating now more than ever. And to me, that seems very much in sort of the culture of SCAD and the sort of like zeitgeist of what you're trying to do. President Wallace, is that so? And how do you think that this is the new sort of future frontier of where we're going, and it's not so kind of like in a box?
Not only all the different disciplines, so we teach over 100 different disciplines at SCAD with majors, but also in all the locations. So students come to us from all over the world, and then they can go and take classes and earn their degrees in Atlanta, Savannah, Hong Kong, and Lacoste in Europe. So it's the places that they're going and creating their art, as well as all the different disciplines that they have to choose from.
Right. Mm-hmm. Are you guys good with collaborating?
Yeah. No.
How did your
I have to
collaboration
be, because like one thing in filmmaking is you can't do it alone. There's like impossible. I mean, you can with your phone and like a mirror and but then you're kind of weird. So it can happen, but I'm saying to make anything like really substantial, you have to be a team player. So I feel like filmmaking is ultimately like you have to know how to work with people and communicate and get your idea across. And then just in this project, you know, I think we all were in tune. You know, we didn't. I know just personally between me and Andre, we had several conversations, and it turned into something because of our conversations, and I feel like in the collaboration is just such a good feeling, you know.
You can be an individual with a really good idea, and music is probably easier to do it yourself, but still at a certain point when you collaborate with another artist, usually collaboration takes a good idea to a great idea, and it just happens that way. Sometimes you can, be the sole creator of a certain thing, but I honestly don't think anybody can sit alone, because even if I'm a great artist or great filmmaker or a great musician, I may not know how to market it. I may not know how to get it out there, which you need other people. You just do. Unless you want to sit at home and kind of, just please yourself. And if that's what you want to do, that's cool too. But you're gonna need somebody else to get it out. So collaboration is key. And I think what we were doing here is proof. We just started with an inkling of an idea. President Wallace, we gathered together and said, well, what can we do around this idea? And we kind of bounced off. And it's amazing how last night I got to see how it actually fit like a super crazy puzzle. We wasn't even playing that way, but everything speaks to each other. What I wanted to say on the suits, Jimmy was actually saying in his paintings. In the film, Greg is actually saying the same thing by casting not just me, because it's not about what I was saying on the suits. It was about the connection of what I was saying. I wanted people to read the suits and be like, yeah, I feel that, which is, I feel you. So of course in the film,
You got to say it first.
oh yeah, yeah, I got to say it first, but but if I say a saying and somebody connects with it, that's the ultimate. And so with the film, Greg, he may cast somebody that looks nothing like me, different nationality, different age, but that's what it's about to me. So the film actually did exactly what I was doing in the suit. So in collaboration, we did exactly that.
I was gonna say too on that note, we actually had a conversation that one night, should you be in the film?
Right.
And Andre was there. Andre was on set. It's not like they're like, go make this film, and I present it. You were there, and then we had a conversation about putting you in the film as one of the kind of characters, and we made a conscious decision not to do that, because that might just be messing up our message, right?
Yeah,
and it was a conversation we had.
I think we did right.
I think we did right too.
But there's still an opportunity for the viewer to participate, because there is a whole big wall where people have been writing messages back to all these artists. And so come over and participate and put your own message on the board if you haven't already.
Go check it out.
Let's give a big round of applause for my esteemed panelists. Thank them for being here today. Thank you, guys.